Yes, good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. It is the morning after the night before the absolute horror show in Madrid, where Spurs did very Spursy things and literally give the tie away in the first 15 minutes of the game. It was an absolutely shocking performance. That first 20 minutes, watching it on the watch along with the two marks and watching the goals fly in and the mistakes being made. It never rains, but it pours, does it? It never rains, but it pours. When we're bad, we're bad. And it just feels like when you're down there, every single mistake that we make gets punished. Everyone. I mean, these were glaring mistakes as well. They weren't even like sloppy errors, glaring mistakes. The first one, Kinsky slipped, and yes, slipped, okay. Van der Ven slipped. How many players were slipping on that pitch last night in that first half? You would have thought they warmed up on the pitch before the game. You would have thought they would have thought it's a bit slippy out there. I'm gonna change my footwear. Now, granted, after they came off after the warm up, the pitch might have been watered some more. Who knows? Um, But listen, we should have known early doors. Conceding the goal that early in within 5 minutes. And the thing is, we actually started quite well, right? We actually started pretty decent, you know. For the first 10 minutes, to 10 minutes, for the first 2 minutes, we were okay. We were on the front foot. We were attacking. And I thought, oh, this is a good start. And then one mistake from Kinsky. Listen, I feel for the lad, I really do. One mistake. And how often do you see it when a keeper comes in from the cold, hasn't played in so long, makes one error, and he then follows it up with an absolute shocker and makes another one. You see it so often. It happened to Kinsky last night. Like I say, I do feel for him. And I'll be the first to admit, I was one of the ones calling for Kinsky to start. It's on me. I was one of the ones calling for Kinsky to start. I said Vicario's awful. We need to change the keeper. I would play Kinsky for the rest of the season. Wow. That's come back to bite me on the ass within 15 minutes. He was shocking. He was shocking. Not only the mistake for the first goal, which, again could happen to anyone to slip. The shot, I just felt like he didn't extend his hand to try and save the ball. Do you know what I mean? You watch it again, and I think he should have saved it as well, personally. And then the second mistake by Kinsky, wow, that's unexplainable and is unforgivable as a professional athlete, as a professional footballer. And I get it, confidence is low, but to miss the ball totally, that is pub level goalkeeping, pub level football in any language. So yeah, listen, I feel for Kinsky, I really do, but he was terrible last night, and I don't see him playing for Tottenham again. I think that's probably his last game, which is sad for him because when he first come in, his debut against Liverpool is absolutely fantastic, wasn't he? Um, it just hasn't happened for him. I see him moving on now in the summer, but listen, who knows? He could be our first choice next season in the Championship. As for Igor Tudor, the guy is out of his depth, and I will get to the comments in a minute. I have started a little bit earlier. Like I said, I wasn't even going to do a stream today. I'm so pissed off at the moment with this club. Wasn't even going to do a stream, but thought, listen, I have to. I have to. Um, I've missed my train. Partly my fault. So I'm like, you know what? I've missed my train now. So let's just go live. Um, Tudor's out of his depth, guys, isn't he? Isn't he? 4 games, 4 defeats, 14 goals conceded. And let's be honest, it's only going to get worse. Liverpool next. He needs to go. Whether we sack him before the Liverpool game or not, I'm not sure it matters, to be honest, because Liverpool are probably going to beat us regardless of who we've got in charge. But we need someone in there who's going to do a better job than this guy. You know, he didn't shake a single player's hands last night when they come off. In fact, Jed Spence had to tap him on the shoulder to get a handshake off of him. He didn't console Kinsky in any way, and okay, there's not much you can do, heat of the game, but at least go over to him as he's coming off and just give him a quick hug. I think it's not only, even if it's not his way, it's the human way, right? Console him. He's a kid and he's had a nightmare. Console him. You picked him. Do your bit. And he never seems to thank the fans afterwards. He never seems to go around the pitch. And I'm not asking him to do a lap of honour, but at least acknowledge that the fans have turned up. And for me, Tudor doesn't do that. I'd be looking to sack him this morning. I think he should be gone. I don't think we can take any more gambles with this guy. And yes, Liverpool, we may lose regardless. We probably will lose regardless of whoever's in charge. But for me, Tudor, get him out of the club, get someone in who knows Tottenham. Now, who? I don't know. That's not for me to answer. You know, a Hoddle, a Redknapp, a Sherwood, even though I do think Sherwood has kind of talked himself out of any job. The fact that he's slamming the board live on air, live on Sky Sports, probably tells me that they wouldn't be looking at Sherwood to take the job. But somebody who knows Tottenham, somebody who gets it, somebody maybe with Premier League experience, and no, not Sean Dyche, please. But I don't want to say what I said before, because when Frank was here, I was one of the fans, and again, maybe it's on me. I was one of those fans like anyone but Frank. Frank has lost the dressing room, anyone but Frank. And we get this mugging, who's even worse. Even worse. I would have preferred, in hindsight, to keep Thomas Frank. Listen, what do I know? What do I know about football? Guys, as you come in, please do me a favour. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe as well. Really would appreciate it. Like I say, this is a stream that I wasn't going to do, but I just feel like I have to rant a little bit about this club. This club that we all love. It is an absolute shit show currently. We are going one way and one way fast, and we need to do something to change it, right? We need to do something to change it. Obviously, bringing Kinsky in wasn't the right call. Let's say hello to the chat. FS, morning, Nige. Another sleepless night for me. Thanks to Spurs. Yeah, I didn't sleep too great either last night, mate. I really didn't. It was shocking last night. Shocking. And the thing is, tell you what's really annoying more than anything is, if it wasn't for those first 20 minutes, we actually played okay. I mean, not brilliant. We're always going to concede chances against Atletico Madrid, right? You know, they've beaten a lot of big sides. They're a good team at home. But we shot ourselves in the foot. We shot ourselves in the foot in the first 20 minutes. And the fifth goal for them summed it up. Richarlison's got to score. 6 yards out. Goal at his mercy. He's got to score. Keeper pulls off a save. They go straight up the other end and make it 5. It is what it is. When the luck's down and luck's against you, it is against you. Jimmy's in saying, big up, Nige. Good morning. Big up to you, Jimmy. I hope you're well. And Golden Sun says, Kinsky sums up the biggest problem at the club as highlighted by Conte. Big boy wages and accepted no responsibility. Mentality. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I do feel for Kinsky. He is a kid still. He's a young man. But he's also a professional. And the second one especially. You can forgive the first one because players slip. And Van der Ven did it. Richarlison was doing it the whole first half. They obviously had the wrong footwear on. But the second goal is just sloppy and public. But here we go. Machina Joe says shocking mistakes. Absolutely, mate. Shocking mistakes. Terrible. It got to the point when that second goal went in. First goal went in, I was shocked. Second goal went in, I was angry. By the time the third goal went in, it was almost funny. It was almost like, this is so bad, it's funny. And it is what it is. Big up, Machina. Pete Chambers, ding dong, the last bow has called Spurs fans. The championship is a certainty now. You've got no fight whatsoever. Hard to disagree with you, mate. It's hard to disagree with you. We will see what the next couple of weeks brings. But for me, Tudor has to go today. Has to go today. We need to roll that dice again. And as much as I don't like rolling dices, we need to roll another dice and see what we can come up with to try and save this season. Finn says, morning, Nige. The most frustrating thing for me is if you remove the mistakes, it was a fairly even game. Absolutely. Like I say, mate, we shot ourselves in the foot The first 20 minutes, the game was done. We were done. But Stell said it. Stell said it as well. Yes, yeah. Tottenham played all right once we were 4-0 down. Fantastic. You know, the game's done then. We showed some fight at 4-0. Why not show some fight in the first 10 minutes? You know, it's so disappointing. So disappointing. Golden Sun said, and aunties without bits are, of course. Jimmy says, last night we finally brought our Premier League form to the Champions League. We are such a mess. I'm actually lost for words. Where do you begin? I don't know. I don't know, mate. It is shocking. It is absolutely shocking. Pete says no sympathy for him whatsoever. He's not a kid. As the media makes out, he's 22 and earns a fortune. He needs to be booted into the reserves. Well, you know, yeah. I mean, I suppose when you're 52 like me, I suppose 22 is a kid. But I get what you're saying. He is a professional. He is a professional, and he's got to do better. He really has. He was given his chance last night, and he absolutely blew it. Absolutely blew it. Jamie says, not on you, Nige. You haven't seen him in training, etc. No, 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 absolutely. Listen, um, he was picked, and I called it. I said I wanted him picked, and you know, it is what it is. Finn says Barcelona complained about the Atletico pitch a few weeks ago when they lost 4-0, stating that the turf lifts causing lots of slips. There's definitely something wrong with it, but it was the same for both sides, yeah. And Atletico were not slipping half as much. Maybe they're used to it. It's a clever ploy. It's a clever ploy that worked. If that's the case, I'm just so disappointed. Wembers is in, said morning, Nige. It was a surreal night for me. Whilst listening to that nightmare, I was on another game, a truly competitive one. My National League club Wilson against Tamworth, a proper contest. What was the score, Wembers? What was the score, mate? Let us know. Lee's in, said, hello, everyone. Big up to you, Lee. I hope you're well. And Golden Sun says both teams play on the same pitch. Absolutely, we do. No excuses for last night. We shot ourselves in the foot, like I say. Milton's in, saying, come on, you Spurs. Big up, Milton. I hope you're well. Pete said, it's not Tudor. It's not any of the managers. It's all on the players. Listen, for me, the players have a massive part, of course. I was saying under Frank that these players are not good enough. But for me, the teams that Tudor's put out on the pitch for every game has baffled me. It really has. And I'm not talking about Kinsky, because I did ask for Kinsky to start. I didn't ask him for him to start last night, but I did want him to get his chance. But throwing him in, a guy who hasn't played since Newcastle, by the way, where he made a big mistake, to throw him into a knockout stage of a Champions League game away from home in Madrid is putting a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on someone. For me, it wasn't the right game, but it is what it is. I'm playing Archie Gray and Sarr in the centre of midfield when we are crying out for a Polinia and a Gallagher. And people will say, oh, well, we're resting players for Liverpool. Guys, one game at a time. Let's play our strongest side, see what we can get out of it. In my opinion, we shot ourselves in the foot. Tudor isn't the man for me. For me, I'm just saying. Lee saying hello to Milton. Milton saying, what I witnessed, I know all the problems. It's so disappointing, mate. It really is. Guys, 60 in the house. If you haven't smashed that like, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Let's see if we can get anywhere near 1600. Machina Joe says, go bro, put an English manager in charge. Let's see what happens. Arrogant, entitled Tottenham and England. This is why you only won one World Cup without VAR. Mate, this isn't an attack on a foreign manager. This is an attack on a guy who's come in and lost all 4 games. Yeah. He was brought in to get a bounce. This is why he was brought in. Nothing more. He was only here for 12 games to get a bounce. We haven't seen a bounce. In fact, if anything, we're getting worse. I don't care what nationality he is. I don't care if he's Albanian. I don't care if he's Brazilian. I don't care if he's English. The fact is, for me, he's not doing a good enough job. So I would 100% be replacing him with whoever that is, whether he's English or from another country. I don't care. We just need to get that bounce. And for me, Tudor's not doing it. He might have done great at other clubs for whatever reason. Is not working at Spurs, mate. And listen, the players have got a lot to answer for as well. But for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked. And it's probably going to be 5 defeats in a row, Machina. You know, realistically, we never get anything at Anfield. So it is what it is. We will see what happens. Wemba says 10 a.m. is the usual time for the announcement of things. So be ready for then, everyone. Absolutely. Absolutely. We will see what happens. Finn, Eagle, no comment. Tudor. Yeah, he looked pissed off last night, didn't he? To say the least, he looked really frustrated. And listen, I do feel for him a little bit. And sometimes the media asks the most stupid questions, right? The most stupid questions. What's he supposed to say when someone asks him, "Do you think you're good enough to be in charge of Spurs, or do you think you deserve to be the Spurs?" It's like, we've just lost 5-2. We've lost 4 in a row. Of course, I think I'm good enough, but it's difficult. It really is. Golden Sun says, "Give Robbie the job full time." We're talking Robbie Keane, I take it. Again, I wouldn't be against it. Pochettino was in the crowd last night. Interesting to see Pochettino there. Milton said the manager isn't the problem. He isn't the only problem, but we can't ignore the fact that, listen, everyone needs to take a slice of the pie. And is a manager listen, the managers come in because Spurs were crap, right? So it's not all on him, of course. But I've expected some sort of bounce. And yes, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid were 2 of the games. But I expect a bounce against Fulham. I expect something against Palace. And again, we went down to 10 men when we were 1-0 up. But it's difficult, guys. It's difficult. We need results, and results quick. And this is a problem. If Tudor had been brought in and he'd signed a 4-year contract, then I wouldn't be like, "Oh, get him out." But the fact is, we've got 9 games, Premier League games, to save ourselves, and we need something, and something quick. So let's see what happens. Milton says, "Where's all the Ange-outers now? Aussies know nothing about soccer." Good point. Good point. Listen, I wanted Ange out as well because I thought he was terrible in the league. Again, nothing to do with nationality. People get very frustrated, don't they? And I get it, but listen, I take Ange back now just to finish off the season, just because I think more than anything, he'd probably get the players on side. I think this is the main problem for me at the moment. I think he's lost the dressing room. I don't think the players are on side. We're a mess, guys. We really are. Milton said, like I said, the manager isn't the problem. Dr. Tottenham Therapy said, "Big up, Nigel. I hope you're well, mate. Tudor needs to go." Yeah, absolutely. And again, I will caveat it by saying, listen, this isn't all on Tudor. The players are terrible. The board have been terrible. But we need something has to change, right? Something has to change, or we are only going one way. And whether that's changing a manager just to get a bounce, if we need to do that, we need to do it. Rodney's in saying, "Good morning. Come on, you Spurs." Big up, Rodney. I hope you're well, mate. Jimmy saying, "Another quality ENIC appointment not. Can this board actually do anything right where football is concerned? We are finished in the bottom 3 and maybe as low as 19th. Seriously." I mean, every week I want to be positive. Every week I come on just before game and I'm like, you know what? We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. I think we'll stay up. And I still think there's a good chance after the Forest game, we have a 3-week break, that we might get a few injuries back, the Bergvaus, the Kudus, the doggies, and then we might have that run in where we pick up those couple of wins. But right now, we are in free fall. We absolutely are in free fall. Marianne says, "Good morning, Nigel." And all in the chat yesterday was like watching Bambi on ice before I switched to Atlanta Bayern. Yes. It's that first 20 minutes. Like I said, like people said in the chat, we weren't actually that bad throughout the game, but those first 20 minutes, it was like the tie was over. Absolutely blown away, and not blown away by good football, blown away by our own mistakes. That's for me what is so frustrating. Big up to you, Marianne. Milton is saying, Tudor is Tudor. Well, let's hope. Listen, if he stays, he needs a reaction on Sunday. He needs a reaction against Liverpool. We cannot lose 5 in a row. We just can't. Destiny saying, come on, it's only 3 goals. Easy comeback. Absolutely, mate. We get a quick goal back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next week, and who knows? Milton said, like I said, Nige should have been given a job to Sergio Conceição and bringing his son Francisco Conceição. Who knows, mate? The summer, maybe it might happen if we stay up. Vindaloo is saying, good morning, Vindaloo, mate. I hope you're well. I bet you had fun last night, didn't you, watching that? And Milton says Austin should have started. Listen, it's one of them, isn't it? You look back, and I think Vicario probably should have started. He's kept the most clean sheets in the Champions League. And as much as I'm not a Vicario fan, I think you look back in hindsight and you think that was a mistake picking Kinsky. But it is what it is. Listen, whatever we do, it just feels like whatever we do at the moment is going against us. You know, we're getting players sent off for I think harsh red cards. We're getting, every mistake is getting punished. Guys, what do you make of the Van der Ven tackle last night? Man, a lot of people saying it was straight red. I don't think it was a red card at all. I think he played the ball. Sure. Yeah, he followed through. Yeah, sure, he caught him on the way through. But as an aggressive tackle, a tackle that he had to make, and he won the ball first. I don't think it was a red card in any way, shape, or form. But people are losing their minds thinking that Van der Ven should have been sent off. Vindaloo says the main thing is the vessel Tudor talking about. At least we know it's a kinky boat. Listen, I feel for him. I really do. I feel for Kinsky. But it is what it is. Golden says, I agree the manager isn't great, but these players are a joke and they have no personal pride and don't give a fig about the fans. I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. I think the fans have been poor for a long time and they're not getting away with it. It's been terrible. A lot of them have down tools. A lot of them seem to have down tools. Again, we only really started playing when we were out of the tie last night, and it's frustrating. It would have been interesting to see what would happen if we could have got another goal back. But the thing is, for me, and we say 5-2, yeah, we played all right, but I think Atletico took their foot off the gas, didn't they? At 5-1, they took off Alvarez, they took off Lookman, they took off Griezmann. Who knows? If they kept them on, it could have been worse. But it is what it is. Andrew Davis, big up, mate, said owners love him. They will wait until the second game of the championship to fire him. I mean, that would be the typically owners, wouldn't it? That's what they do. Dr. Tottenham Therapy said, I chose to watch that rubbish when I should have watched my local team, the MK Dons, thrashing them 5-1. Wow. Yeah, fair play, mate. You should have. It's not good watching Spurs at the moment, is it? Dino's in. Big up, Dino. Says, so depressing at the moment, mate. I'm struggling to do any content at the moment as I'm just saying the same shit. And exactly, it's all we can do. It's why I haven't done too much during the weeks. But I had to come on this morning. It's just the same old crap, isn't it? Week in, week out. And there's nothing we can do about it as fans. We've just got to watch it and hope that it changes. Vindaloo's off to work in a bit, mate. Take care. And Rain is in. Big up, Rain. I hope you're well, mate. Says, morning, nice. Can we finally put to bed the ideas of all our problems are caused by coaches? Another one is about to bite the dust. I'm not blaming the players. I'm blaming the recruitment team. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I say, every single one of them from top to bottom have to take some responsibility. And listen, this is not on Tudor, and I'm not blaming Tudor for everything. It really isn't on him. He's come into a shit show, right? But he was brought in to give us a bounce, and we haven't got that bounce. Will another manager get us a bounce, or are we just shot? Are we just done now? I don't know. But we got to try. Who though? I'm not sure whether a Redknapp, whether a Sherwood would work. For me, I don't think we need a top coach now for these last 9 games. I don't think we need someone who's tactically going to set up a team to win games. I think we need a manager who's going to come in and get into these players' heads, make them run through walls for him. And this is why I say I wouldn't be against Ange for the last 9 games, as crazy as it seems and as crazy as it sounds, because as much as Ange was a terrible manager tactically, he did get into the players' heads, and they did run through walls for him. And right now, we need a manager who's going to get these players motivated to try and at least get a couple of wins to stay up. Wember says 3-2 win for Willstone, a really decent National League game. Fair play. Fair play. Machina Joe says yes. Put an English manager in charge immediately. Let's see. I got a feeling that Machina's been tongue in cheek, but listen, we will see what happens over the next couple of weeks, and we will see. I don't know whether they're going to replace him or not, but I don't know. Golden Sun says 22 years old, 30K a week. Paul Kinsky. Maybe we give him this week's wages to the travelling fans. Listen, I get it. I get it. Yeah, he's a professional footballer. He's on a lot of money, more money than probably a lot of us could ever imagine. Probably all of us. But he is still a human being at the same time, and I do feel for him. I really do, because nobody makes mistakes on purpose. And like I say, the first one you can understand. The second one, I think, obviously, his head was gone because he looked a bit uncomfortable from the moment the first goal went in. And I think his head was fried from that first mistake. And it's unforgivable. It really is. But he is a human being, and I do feel for him. Ghosted is in, saying big up, nice. Big up to you, Ghosted. I hope you're well, mate. And Milton said 22 losses was with Ange isn't good enough. Hold my beer. Let's go for 23 losses, Ange, in. Listen, we're heading that way. We are heading that way, mate, currently. This digs in, said hi, Nige. Tudor has to go. So there's so many individuals in this team. It's playground football. I'm expecting a hammer in next game. Me too. And just to compound the misery that was last night. What are the chances? What are the freaking chances of two players, and not only two players, two of our most influential players going up for the same header in injury time? A sickening clash. They're almost certainly both going to be out, but definitely Liverpool. Wouldn't surprise me if they're out for the return leg and the Forest game. It's just so Spursy, isn't it? You know, as if things aren't bad enough. That happens in the last minute of the game, and both of them go off with concussion. I'm beyond words on what's happened to this club. I honestly think we are cursed at times. Jimmy says, get a full-time manager in now, give him maximum time to prepare for next season, probably in the Championship. Why wait until the end of the season? I'm kind of with you, but I want Poch back. But again, who would come now, knowing that we could be in the Championship? I don't know. Is either that or we hire an interim manager that we have an idea of becoming the full-time manager, but we just give him to the end of the season, see if he can keep us up, and if he can, we keep him on full-time, and if he can, we roll the dice again. I don't know. Milton said, give Stevie Wonder the job. Listen, like I say, it isn't now about tactics. It's about getting into these players' heads. Maybe he could do it. Who knows? Kate's in saying, good morning, Nige. Good morning to you, Kate. I hope you're well. Good to see you up this early. Good to see you up and about. The dice aside, I think. So just kick him out. Get enough of Tudor. Listen, I think a lot of us now think that Tudor's probably, whether it's his fault or not, has to go. He's not the man. I think he is out of his depth here. Tottenham are a poison chalice for any manager to come into. FS says, and Ange allowed this losing rot to set in this squad with zero player accountability. Is a good point. It's a good point. 22 defeats last season, and apparently chucking the league isn't great for mentality, but listen, it is what it is. Pete says, Jimmy Hotspur, who would you take knowing relegation is a very real possibility? This is it. We will see. We will see who is going to come to Spurs. Is it going to be like a Sean Dyche thing now to the end of the season? I really hope it isn't. I really hope it isn't. Finn said rumours that Kinsky's boot sponsor is WD-40 are unfounded. I like it. I like it, mate. Stig said an organised championship team would have put in a better performance than that. Listen, for me, mate, like I say, the performance wasn't terrible. It was just the fact we shot ourselves in the foot the first 20 minutes. The game was done. The game was done after 20 minutes. It was over. And we really didn't give ourselves any chance. Guys, 86 of you in the house, please smash a like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Really would appreciate it. Chasing down 1,530. If we can get close to that, that would be amazing. FS says, Flange lost 34 in 72 league games in 20 months, 40 defeats in all competitions, won no games of Forest at football. Listen, as a manager, I don't think Andrew's that. As a man motivator, maybe different. And I think maybe that's what we need now, as a man motivator to get into these players' heads. The Prez is in. Big up, Prez. He says, big up, Nige. How many wanted Kinsky and so many other young players to start in the Champions League football? Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Yes, listen, I'll be the first to admit, I was the one calling for Kinsky to get some game time because I don't like Vicario. But listen, he showed last night. He's not mentally ready for it. He was shocking. Absolutely shocking last night. And I don't see Kinsky starting for Spurs again anytime soon. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if we sold him in the summer. Golden Sun said, would Conte be okay of having a parade after 22 defeats? Surely that messes up mentality. Again, another good point. I think the parade, you know what, more than anything, Golden Sun, was for the fans. You know, that long without a trophy, I think we needed it. And listen, we won a trophy. We got to celebrate that. But it is what it is. Billy Andrews, big up Billy, said Enoch, embarrassing, negligent, incompetent clowns. 100%. I like that. 100%. Yeah, listen, Enoch is the main problem. They are the main problem. We are in this situation. There is no doubt about it. Vindaloo said, forgot to mention Torval and Dean were proud yesterday. We were shocking, weren't we? FS says, nowadays, everything seems to be a red card for some people. Madness. Agreed. Agreed. 100%. And Milton says, FS Ange with a fit back four, Spurs win rate 74%. Yeah, listen, I think we've just got to try and move on from Ange, from Frank, from maybe Tudor in the next couple of hours. We've got to try and look forward and try and find a solution to the mess that we are in. But we will see. Kate says, Nige, I think instead of them having a 3-week break, they need to be on the training pitch. Well, hopefully, Kate, they will be. Obviously, a lot of them will be on national duty as well. But listen, for me, that's the perfect time then. If we're going to get a new manager in, you know, just try and get into the players' heads. I know a lot of them won't be there, but it's a reset time. And those 3 weeks, as much as I hate the international break, 3 weeks of it is a long time. It might be perfect for Spurs. It might be absolutely just what we need, because currently we are a mess and there's no way out. Ghost has said, Ange lovers out there in full force, point scoring over their Messiah instead of caring about the state of our club. Fake fans. Massive words from Ghosted. And Milton saying, Nuno had a 50% win ratio. Nuno going to make West Ham proud. BDB deserved red. Oh, mate, I don't see it was even. I don't even see it was a foul. I just think he got the ball. I think if we're giving cards for those kind of tackles, I think the game's gone. You know, the game is gone. It's a physical sport. It's a physical sport. You've got to put tackles in. Or what are we doing? Are they going to make football a non-contact sport when you just literally can't tackle? You know, it's crazy. For me, it wasn't even close to a red card. It wasn't even a foul for me, but it is what it is. The press says, big up, Rain. No one gets a free pass. The player, the recruitment, and the owners all get a piece of the blame pie for all different reasons. Absolutely, 100%. Milton said, nice. Do you know many YouTubers that cover the championship? Well, I think a lot of us will be next season, right? a lot of us will be next season. I know there's a couple of YouTubers that do actually a lot of non-league stuff, which is quite interesting. But yeah, not yet, Milton. I think, like I say, there could be a few of us doing it next year. And Ghost is saying even Frank lovers are doing the same about Frank. It's hindsight, isn't it, mate? It's hindsight. Um, you know, we are in a place where we are looking back and thinking, oh, maybe that because we're so bad now, maybe, just maybe, it's you know, it would have been better if we kept them, but I don't know. Guys, let's be nice in the chat. Let's be nice in the chat, guys. It's frustrating, I know. We're all frustrated, but we've got to try not to take it out on each other. It is what it is. The press says, soon as Tudor took over, he was set adrift like a castaway. Yeah, it's just for me, it's just not good enough. Marianne said, I find it strange that Kinsky was thrown in. He hasn't played much for us. Why not go with Vicario? And this is it for me. As much as I've been complaining about Vicario, the most clean sheets in the Champions League. It is almost like we were like, we don't really care about this game. We're just going to play a different formation. We're going to maybe try these two in midfield. We're going to try you in goal, rest a few players for the Liverpool game. And it bit us on the bum big time. It bit us on the bum big time. And yeah, as much as they're professional footballers, I didn't like seeing Kinsky being hooked after like what 25 minutes. It was a hard watch. It really was. Ghost is saying club is dying and people want the point score about managers. It's listen, it's what we do as fans, isn't it? We have our favourites, I guess. Steve's in saying, good morning, Nige. What a shit show that was last night. That was a new low in 2 seasons of lows. It's been in the making, hasn't it, for a while? We've been poor for a while, and it is so disappointing. It really is so disappointing. Big up to you, Steve. Dennis is in saying, just a thought, without Ange last season, we would have been relegated and no cup. Maybe. Listen, it's all hindsight, isn't it, guys? It's all hindsight. Let's try now to move forward and look forward to seeing how we can change and how we can get out of the absolute mess that we're in. Steve says Tudor has to go today. We are worse than we was under Frank. I think we have got worse. I really do. Whether that's because of Tudor or whether the team have just given up, I don't know. But we are definitely not improving. Golden Sun says, Nige, if they brought back Ange to the club, the fans would rip apart forever. I agree. Listen, I'm not saying bring Ange back. I'm just saying that we need that type of manager who's going to get into the players' heads because tactics now go out the window. It's all about bringing in a man motivator who can get the players on side to run through walls for him, even if it's just for 5 or 6 games. This is what we need. Tactics go out the window. We need to put an arm around the likes of Xavi Simons and go, listen, mate, you're our main man. We need you on that pitch. Because we spent 50 million on a kid who's not playing. He's not getting in the team now. And we've got no creativity whatsoever. Something needs to change and change fast. Dennis saying, when it mattered, Ange delivered. Kate Rickson saying, Lange, P45 now, wet lettuce. Yes, get him out of the club. Get him out of the club. Wemba said we should play both Romero and Polina and take any fine. Yeah, it's all a question of whether they can play, isn't it? It's concussion is not something to be messed around with. I think they definitely miss the Liverpool game, which really puts us in a lot of trouble, doesn't it? And who do we play against Liverpool? Van der Ven's out. Romero now is almost certainly out. So it looks like it's going to be a Danzo and Dragishin back 2. Will Polina then drop in to make a back 3? Oh, we are in trouble against Liverpool. I am not looking forward to Anfield on Sunday. I can tell you that. I really am not. Machina said, I'm looking forward to Guardiola, Perisic, Modric, and Busquets lining up against Keir Starmer's mighty England in the World Cup. Cannot wait. Listen, Croatia always give us a bit of a pasting, don't they? So it is what it is. Milton said, Ange, most successful manager for Spurs in the last 42 years. Facts. Deliver what Conte, he did. He delivered a trophy. He did. But guys, it is what it is. Ange is now gone. Frank is gone. We are where we are. We are in a relegation scrap and we are getting worse by the game. So what do we do to change it? What do we do to change it? Who do we bring in going forward that's going to make this side better? I don't know. I really don't know. R. Williams said, I haven't seen us play this bad since last week. Doesn't it feel like that every game? Big up to you, mate. Comment of the day, without a doubt. I feel like I say that every week. I've never seen us play this bad. But every week we get worse and worse. It's hilarious. It really is hilarious. But it is what it is. Let's go through a few more. So I bet Ange probably is laughing at us, yeah, but with a big fat wage. Dave Jones says we really need just to concentrate on the Premier League. Wins are crucial and draws for some points. They need to make more of an effort. I agree. It's all about the Premier League. I just hope that we could have got some confidence from last night's game. And if anything, it's made us worse. It really has. Jimmy says, somebody like Robbie Keane would be a starter into getting our Tottenham back. I wouldn't be against Robbie Keane at all, but it depends what we want. For me, I'm hanging on for Poch next season. Maybe with my heart. This may be a heart over head thing, but I want to see. It's an itch that needs scratching. I need to scratch it. I need to see Poch back. So listen, but then, if we have to bring in a manager full time now to save us, then Poch loses out. It's just the way it is. Guys, let me know who's next in charge for Spurs. Who comes in next? I don't know. Wember says, why wouldn't you want someone like Sean Dyche? I think somebody like him is probably our last chance to get properly organised on the field to avoid relegation. Desperate times required. I don't know. It's the answer, Wembers. I don't know. I don't know. For me, that just sums how low we are as a club, how low we've got when when we're going for all as a fan base. We want a Sean Dyche to try and get us out of trouble. And listen, maybe it's you know recent revisionism because I've seen him just about got that out. I've seen him in charge at Forest and he did nothing there either. And I just think to myself, is he going to do anything at Spurs? I'm not sure he would. For me, I would need to see someone Spursy in now. Someone, not Spursy, someone Tottenham, someone who gets the club. And maybe that won't work either. And listen, we've all got different opinions. And if if Dyche comes in, I will support him 100%. Let's hope we make a decision now and make a decision soon. Ghost has said, I'd rather have Dyche than Ange. At least Dyche picked up some points at Forest. This is true. R. Williams says, so what do we do now? We all know Liverpool will beat us. It's just another free game for this fraud, like the Arsenal game. And this is it, isn't it? Do we just give him this game? Because does it matter? Whoever's in charge, we're going to get beat. But I don't know. Something needs to change, and it needs to change quickly. I'm not quite sure how we do that. Milton says, why drop Vic with 6 clean sheets in the Champions League? Again, for me, a mistake. Hindsight, easy to say now. When the team came out last night, I was thinking, oh, I like Kinsky. Yeah, let's give him a chance. Listen, what do we know as fans, right? What do we know as fans? It is what it is. Cookie's in, saying good morning to you, Cookie. I hope you're well, buddy. Great show last night. DL7, good day, fella. I have a genuine guilt that my sons follow Spurs. My eldest was in tears this morning and asked Dad, when are we going to win again? It's heartbreaking, mate, isn't it? When you know your kids support Tottenham and they support Tottenham because of you. Yeah, I've got the same with my son. But you know what? We can only do what we do. We have to pass on the mantle. They have to take some of the pain as well. So, yeah. It is what it is. Machina says, Pure Coys, I suggest you change clubs, bros. We'll welcome you with open arms. Thank you, mate. Everton flying, aren't they, at the moment? Having a good season, Everton. And I don't know. I don't know, mate. Let me know what you think of New Everton Stadium. If you've been now, do you like it? Milton saying, most likely Ryan Mason as an interim. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we got Ryan Mason back. Tyrrell's in saying, big up, nice, big up to you, mate. And he also says, you guys are finished and in trouble. I tend to agree. I tend to agree, mate. We are absolutely finished. But all we can do is keep going. Finn says, isn't it strange to think that this whole debacle started in 2023 when we played Chelsea on a cold night in November? Absolutely. And we were seconds, like literally like millimeters away from going 2-0 up in a game that we started on fire. We flew out of the blocks at them and we tore them apart for the first 20 minutes. And then it all capitulated, didn't it, with the sendings off. Who knows what would have happened if we had gone on to win that game? Probably not a lot different, but you never know. FS says anyone but Mason took over from Conte in fourth and left us in eighth with Son and Kane up front. Yeah, I mean, listen, it wouldn't surprise me if it is Mason. No, it really wouldn't. He's out of a job. He's an easy pick. Ghost has said, Machina Joe, the real Spurs fans will support the club in the championship. All the fake fans can F off. I agree. Listen, no matter what league we are in, I will support Spurs until the day I die in it. You know, we will, as Spurs fans, we will go through the rough. We will go through the smooth. We have a lot of rough as Tottenham fans. We just take it on the chin and we move on. Kate says the board of novices and land should be sacked for not getting transfers in. Enoch sell this club. Absolutely agree. 100%. We are a mess at the top. Lange needs to go. Not bringing anyone in, even if it was on loan in the January window, was a massive mistake. Samantha, big up Samantha, says bring Harry Sherwood and Defoe in for the last games. I wouldn't be against that. All I would say is if we do that, who's the leader in those? I mean, I'm guessing Harry. Who has the final say? I'd be surprised if Sherwood comes back just because, like I say, he is slated the board live on Sky Sports. I wouldn't think the board would take him on, but who knows with this board? Defoe, I'd like to see in, even if he come in and train with the strikers, show them how to finish. And Harry, I'd love Harry, but he is 80. And is he going to come back to this shit show? Is it worth it for him? Let's see. I know he said he'd come back, but let's see what happens. Giant Pandas in, Centel, Gray, and Kinsky should be nowhere near the first 11. Play the men. Listen, for me, I agree. Last night wasn't a game for Archie Gray. I think Archie Gray's been decent. He's one player that puts effort in. But for me, last night should have been Polinia, experienced international, and Gallagher, who's played against his old club, playing against his old players, his old teammates. If anyone knows how Atletico Madrid player, it would be Gallagher. And he's an experienced Champions League player as well. Both of them should have started. They didn't. And we all know what happened. We got absolutely crushed. Absolutely crushed. Ghosted. Ghosted is on it this morning. He is not happy. And I do not blame him at all. Giant Panda said the club is finished until these dogs sell up. And then he says, why aren't we playing Premier League experienced grown men? Again, yeah, listen, it is what it is. And this is a mistake we've made. We've got a lot of injuries. As last season, we're having to rely on young players, but we had a chance to play a proper team last night with proper players, experienced players, players who have been there, seen it, and done it. And we chose not to, and we got punished big time. Rain says, I don't blame Tudor. I blame the lack of football knowledge. Idiots who hired him, 100%. 100%. The fact that they ended up hiring a manager, that the last director of football that's literally said, I'm not going to work with Lange and effed off. It just shows you, doesn't it? They haven't got a clue. They have no contingency plan. I don't think Lange and Bina had any intention of sacking Frank. And when they were told they had to, they were like, shit, what are we going to do? It's we're just a mess. And like I say, I don't blame Tudor either. He's come into a shit show, but he hasn't got the bounce that I was expecting. So we need someone to come in. We need that bounce. I feel like we're getting worse and worse every week. Giant Panda said, looks to me like the club want us to go down to the championship. I just think some of the players have switched off. They've kind of checked out. I think a lot of the fans have checked out and just resigned to the fact that we're probably going down. And I just think, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We will see what happens. We need a change in mentality and a change in mentality quick. Let's see if we can get that. Giant Panda says nobody runs a club like this, signing all these top experienced players only to lead them out for an important Champions League game. Listen, again, it's hard. It's hard to disagree. Yes, the Champions League is a bit of a distraction from the main focus, which is staying up. But if you cannot play that team going to Atletico Madrid. We had to play the strongest side for me. You know, we take what we get, yeah? Any injuries we get, we take. And as it is, even playing the shit that we played, we still got two horrific concussions right at the end. Like I said, when does that ever happen? When does it ever happen that two the same players from the same team go up for a header and both go off with concussion? You know, you might have it with one player goes up with an opponent and gets concussion, but two of your players and two of your more important players and more experienced players as well. It's just one thing after another. One thing after another. Giant Panda says, yes, Conte then went and won the league in Napoli, and that's 6 league titles for him. Absolutely. What is the point of this club? And why do supporters support this shit? Oh, mate, we haven't got a lot of choice, have we? A lot of us are born into it. We don't have a choice on who we support. Um, you know, it is what it is. Samantha's saying, Poch isn't coming back if we're in the championship. Well, he said he might, but I kind of agree. I kind of agree. He probably ain't going to come back, but he was there last night. Let's see what happens. Giant Panda says, Dyche with these Cinderellas. I mean, I agree, but maybe, as much as I don't want Dyche, maybe this is what these players need. I don't know. Milton said, don't want Poch back. Milton, you're crazy. I love you, but you're crazy. And he says, if we survive, I'm all in for Eddie Howe. I wouldn't be against Eddie Howe as well. I think he's a top manager. Ed M's in, send morning, Nige, and chat. Can I throw a thought out? I really don't know myself. You know the way Fulham are safe and not getting Europe. Would fans take Marco Silva on a permanent now? Ooh, I don't know. For me, mate, and this is just for me, kind of feel like Silva's another kind of flank, maybe a little bit more attacking. I don't know, guys. Let us know in the comments. Would you take a Marco Silva on a permanent now if we could get him? If we could get him. And Ghost is saying, just pissed off about it all, mate. Yeah, I get it, mate. I get it. It is. I'm annoyed as well. Burke's Board and Bread says there's better odds at the bookies that the UK will host the Winter Olympics and us staying up. Yeah. Yeah, listen, we are in free fall at the moment. It's not good. It's not good at all, but we will see what happens these next 9 games. Logan says, morning, Nige. Big up, mate. I feel pretty depressed about how the club is going. Honestly, I love Tottenham, but it's soul destroying. I agree, mate. I agree. It is. It hurts, doesn't it, watching Tottenham at the moment, and we are so bad. We are so bad, and we're just not getting better. Guys, over 80 in the house, please smash a like. Really would appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If I could get another 3 or 4 subs today, that would be absolutely fantastic. Rodney's saying, we will always love Spurs, and this is the thing, mate, isn't it? We will always love our club, regardless of how we play, who's in charge, who plays for us. We love that badge on the shirt for whatever reason, and it would always be in our blood. It is what it is. Samantha says Sherwood was begging for the job. He was. And again, I wouldn't be against Sherwood coming in right now. I just don't think the board will take him. But we will see. Cookie says, what's going on can't be for real. The incompetence of the board and players is unbelievable for me. The club is broken from top to bottom. Protest, protest, protest. Absolutely. And guys, if you can get to the protest for the Nottingham Forest game, please, I absolutely implore you, do your bit. Get to the protest. Um, Sing for Enoch out. You know, the couple of protests that I've been to, they're all calm, collected. There's no riots. It's not crazy. Just go down. You meet lots of like-minded people. You meet lots of fans. Everyone's lovely, and you just do your bit. You do your bit to make Enoch aware, just how aware of how unhappy we are as a fan base. Something needs to be done. You know, there's so many that have been doing it for years to try and get Enoch out. As a fan base now, I think we are close to the bottom of that V, and we have to do our bit to try and make Enoch aware of just how unhappy we are. Paul G says, utter guff last night. Yep, hard to disagree, mate. Hard to disagree with that at all. Samantha says, Harry, just to go out and arm around these players, and Defoe and Sherwood do all the dirty work. Yeah, listen, again, I wouldn't be against them coming in. That would be fantastic. Steve says Spurs managers usually get sacked around 10 a.m. the day after. Hopefully, only less than an hour of the Croatian Sean Dyche left. Yeah, like I say, it's not all on him, but we need to change. We need that bounce. And for me, the only way is to get this manager out and get somebody new in. It doesn't have to be for the Liverpool game. The Liverpool game was probably a defeat anyway. I put a coach in charge for the Liverpool game. It's all about going forward now. And we need points against Forest, etc. Let's see what we can do. Dino's in, said, morning, Nige, morning, chat. Burn it all. We are, yeah, burn it all. Every single bit. Let's start again. Milton saying, glad Lange didn't panic buy. Yeah, but look at the position we're in now, mate. It's not, for me, it's not a question of buying. It's about getting players in on loan. You know, there's plenty of loans out there. We could have got a Lookman. You know, Lookman tore us apart last night. You know, we could have got a Lookman, but we didn't. We didn't go for him. Crazy. For me, absolutely crazy. Ben saying we should get a new manager in for the Liverpool game. We shouldn't just assume we will lose. Good point. Liverpool are far from their best this season and look fragile at times. Every point is vital right now. You have a point now, Finn. And I think a lot of us, and me included, are very much like, oh, we're going to lose to Liverpool. Doesn't matter. But Liverpool are not flying. They're not doing what they were doing last season. So maybe we could, you know, go there and surprise everyone. And maybe a new manager in charge would help that. Absolutely. Jimmy said, I fear Tudor has just ended Kinsky's career in top flight football. Disgraceful, unsympathetic management. He needs to go today for that alone. You know, I was really disappointed with not him playing last night, but when he come off, the fact that, like I say, he didn't show him any support at all. He didn't just go over it, even if it just tapped him on the back or just give him a quick arm on the shoulder, just, you know, nothing. Just blanked him totally. For me, that is totally disrespectful. But listen, it is what it is. Eva's in. Eva Man says, big up Nige from Hong Kong. I did set my alarm to get up at 4 a.m. and watch that. I'm so sorry, mate. I told you to set your alarm. Yeah. Don't listen to me again. Don't do it. We were terrible. We were absolutely terrible. But big up to you, mate. Marianne said, of course, I would like Harry Redknapp back, but he is not young anymore, and coming back to this shit show will send him into an early grave. It could well do, couldn't it? It could well do. I don't know. We are in a mess. Machina Joe said, why are you British complaining about private ownership of football clubs? You wanted to be richer and stronger than the rest of Europe and your local rivals. Yeah, but we kind of wanted them to spend money on the team as well, mate. It is what it is. Gregory's in saying, no one can help this shit club. Big up to you, mate. Thanks for coming in. No, you're right. You're right. We are an absolute mess. Um, Falkhoff is in, saying evidently Diego Simeone is 33-1 to be our next manager. Who makes this up? Yeah, I can't see it. And just to think, Simeone said that Spurs were favourites last night. Um, yeah, nice bit of mind games out from Simeone. Drew is in, saying morning Nigel chat. I really can't see who fixes this mess. I can't either. Big up to you, Drula. I can't see that. We are terrible. We are terrible. Neil Fenton said Dyche isn't what Spurs want, but it is what they need. Back to basics. Get the team organised with a siege mentality. Possibly, possibly. Maybe I'm being just, I don't know, too big clubbers. Maybe I'm thinking Spurs are too big for them, but of course we're not. We're in a relegation zone. We have been for the last 2 years in a relegation fight. So listen, it is what it is. Russell says, I feel for Kinsky, left in the freezer all season and then thrown into the frying pan without being defrosted. Bang on, mate. Absolutely bang on. And whereas I was happy that he started, you look back in hindsight and you're like, oh, he probably shouldn't have played this game. Bruno says apparently Redknapp has signed up for the South African I'm a Celebrity, so he isn't coming. When is this I'm a Celebrity? Because I've always thought I'm a Celebrity was like November time, but maybe if it's a South African one, maybe it is earlier. I don't know. But listen, yeah, I don't think I'd be surprised if Redknapp comes in now. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we just kept Tudor until the end of the season. Um, but for me, we need to change something. Something needs to change and change quickly. Guys, nearly 90 of you in the house. Please smash a like if you haven't. Hit that subscribe button as well. I really would appreciate it. Let's see if we can pick up a couple more subs before the end of the show. Oh, my favorite person is in. Morning, Dad and chat. I hope everyone is okay at the moment. Morning, son. I hope you're well, buddy. Yeah, yeah, we're great. We're great, mate. We're all great. Just having a bit of therapy this morning. And he then says, I'm a Celebrity is in May, I believe. Okay, then Redknapp will not be coming if he's signed up for I'm a Celebrity. Yeah, so no Redknapp, guys. Redknapp won't be coming. So we are going to have to pick someone else. Pick someone else to come in. Will it be a full-time manager? Will Tudor just stay? I don't know. We will see. I think we're all waiting till 10 o'clock and that possible news of him going. Russell said, is Tudor gone yet? Not yet, not yet, but we will see. Listen, is it going to happen today? Are we going to keep him? I don't know. Something has to give, though. Either Tudor goes and we get someone else in who's going to try and get a banks out of these players, try and get something out of these players. I'm disgusted in a lot of these players. Now, listen, for me, it wasn't all bad. I thought last night, at times, I thought we played okay. But the mistakes we make every week, we always seem to get punished. And like I said before, when you're at the bottom of the league, when you're fighting, when everything is against you, you always get punished. The little mistakes you get punished for. And it always seems to happen. And it's happening to Tottenham. It is what it is. Do we get out of it? We've still got a chance, right? We've still got a chance. Chunky said, even if we get relegated, I do still feel that Poch could take the job. Listen, I I think Poch is coming back in the summer, and I think this is part of the problem now, is that we won't hire a full-time manager because I think Poch is coming back. But we need something. We need something and something quick. Drew is saying it's airing in April, Nigel. Okay, April, May. So yeah, he's almost certainly not coming back then, is he? I think we can forget about Harry Redknapp coming back. And Russell says we deserve Mike Bassett, Davy Dodds, and Lonnie. I can't even read that, to take over the team. Yeah, listen, anyone now, like I say, anyone who can just get into the players' heads, get them playing for the badge, get them playing for the fans, get them playing for themselves, play with pride. This is your job. And we need something. Samuel's in said Mick McCarthy, Sean Dyche, Sam Allardyce, Tony Pulis, Tim Sherwood should all be candidates to replace Eagle Tudor. This, guys, is how far we have fallen, right? This is how far we have fallen as a club when we're looking at these type of managers to come in. Big up to you, Samuel. Mark's in said, morning all. I don't see why Poch can't come in now. Do what Martin O'Neill was doing. Dual role and with his assistant covers any periods he can't do because of USA commitments. Bang on, mate. I absolutely agree. I don't see why Poch couldn't come in now. I will say, though, Poch never starts fast at a club. He always starts slow at every club he's been at. So if we're expecting Poch to come in and make an immediate impact, I'm not sure he would, but who knows? Listen, we need something, right? We need a miracle. We need a miracle. And Falcao saying Poch can't work miracles with this shit show. Absolutely. Guys, so what do we do? Who do we bring in? Is it a Sean Dyche manager? Is it keeping Tudor to the end of the season? Is it Ryan Mason coming in till the end of the season? Or do we go out and try and get a De Zerbi or someone like that? I really don't know. Finn said, I'm a Celebrity was pre-recorded. Only the last episode was live. And Mark says, another sign of poor management, sadly. Absolutely. Suit Measured is in, saying, I know I'm the 1,000th person to say this, but we're completely done for. We are. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know how we get out of this situation. I don't know what we're doing. And as a fan, it's horrific. It's horrific to watch. Guys, over 100 now in the house. Please smash a like. Let's get past 50 likes. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I am chasing down whatever I'm chasing down. So any help would be much appreciated. Marcus is in saying, big up, mate. How come the players are so injured when they're here? Yet they leave and no injuries. Ryan Session, players just want a wage here. It's a good point. Our medic system is terrible. I don't know what we're doing. I really don't. Every player that joins seems to get injured for a long time, leave, and then they're fine. Yeah, with Perisic as well, got a big injury, left, playing now. Crazy. Mark says, I'm okay with whatever happens now. If we go down with Poch, we just need to stick to someone who support them with the right signings. Absolutely. Like I said, we will support this club regardless. Whether we're in the Premier League or League Two, it really doesn't matter. We will support this club. We just need a plan. And we need to stick to that plan going forward. And hopefully at some point, this club will become great again. Because right now, we are as low as I can ever remember in my lifetime. It is as bad as it gets. Chirpy's in. Big up Chirpy. Says whoever comes in, they have to be comfortable taking the team forward in the championship because a long-term rebuild is now needed. Absolutely, I agree. We are now, and we say it a lot, don't we, about rebuilds. We are now officially, we need to rebuild from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. 100%. The press says Spurs should bring in Pope Leo as manager between now and the end of the season. He'd probably do a better job, mate. He probably would. Steve says, saw TNT pan the Poch in the stands last night. He looked upset, thinking, what has happened to the club I left? Yeah, we need him back, man. We need him back. And it's all heart I'm saying that with, but we need something, right? We need something. Somebody who gets Tottenham. Gareth, we need a legend until the end of the season as a fans appease. Listen, I agree. We need somebody who gets Spurs. And I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But somebody, maybe a Teddy Sheringham, a Jurgen Klinsmann, a Rafa van der Vaart, just somebody who gets the club. I'd love a Robbie Keane. I just don't see Robbie Keane leaving a full-time job to come in as an interim. Samuel says, should Tottenham Hotspur take a leaf out of Manchester United's book and get matches cancelled and stop buying merchandise and stop going to the megastore? Listen, it'd be interesting if actually no Spurs fans turned up next week for the return leg, which I know is not going to happen. And, you know, it would be sad. But a three-quarter empty stadium next week would certainly let Enoch know that we're not happy as a fan base. I just can't see it. I really can't. Marcus says this team will not bother for anyone. They are planning for futures elsewhere and keeping fit for the World Cup. It's a good point about this World Cup thing. You know, I've been saying all season that players would be playing for a place in the World Cup. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, they just want to stay fit for the World Cup. So they're not going to put as much effort in. We need these players fighting for Spurs. And I think a lot of them have checked out. A lot of them are already thinking about their futures elsewhere. Mark says, did you read last night? This is the first time we've lost 6 in a row in our entire history. Rock bottom. Yeah. Yeah. And it's probably only going to get worse, Mark. It's so depressing. Falco says, I feel the Forest game is the wrong one to protest in due to the importance of it. Yeah, I know, but we've got to start somewhere, mate, haven't we? The problem is, you know, it's got to a point where you just cannot not protest because we are in such a mess. But I get it. As long as they're supporting the team and getting behind the team inside the stadium, I think there are plenty of times, half time, full time before the game, they can really get at the board. But we have to get behind the team, and the fans do. The fans do that for the most part. For the most part. Drula says, how incompetent would a medical department leaving Romero out on the pitch after that heavy clash? Agreed. Agreed. I think it's one of them, isn't it? It's maybe you think as a medical team, shit, if we take him off, like Polina was gone, yeah, he was done. He was all over the place. He was, I think he's probably still seeing stars now. But maybe they thought, if we take Romero off as well, that's automatically going to be 2 weeks. Let's try and keep him on. And then we say, no, he's fine. He's not got concussion. I don't know. But it is what it is. We are where we are. We are a mess. Pete says, why would a legend want to tarnish their status for being the manager who took Spurs down? Well, it's a good point. It is a good point, but I don't think it would be he would be blamed for taking Spurs down as such, because I think Spurs are terrible. And I think we're on our way down anyway, as you know, mate. As you know, guys, I am pretty much going to leave it. I'm going to pass you over to the 2 marks. Big up Claire says, morning, everyone. When you think you've hit rock bottom, last night happened. Never seen anything like it. Big up to you, Claire. No, I agree. We just shot ourselves in the foot. Like I say, the first couple of goals, the first goal, I was frustrated. Second goal, I was angry. The third goal, it was just laughed because it's just like, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to be a Spurs fan right now. But it is what it is. Guys, I'm going to leave it now. I'm going to send you across to the 2 marks. I forgot to do the redirect. But guys, get over to the 2 marks show and smash a sub. Hit a like for them too. Have a great morning. Forget about Spurs. We're rubbish, but life goes on. Guys, have a fantastic day. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure Coys.